Right then, well, looks like we've got a little bit of time to kill, so I thought, given that one or two people have been asking me, I thought I'd do you a little very quick basic cab tour of the all new 75 plate R560 Scania. A big face. Always put my boots on step. Hey. It's not much different than the 540 really, apart from this brand new digital dashboard. Now then, because it's brand new, it's a little bit stiff, so just, there you go, it's getting easier. Pull that down a bit. Digital dashboard, you've got various thingies on here. There's your scales. I'm currently empty, so my scales are not showing anything. There's my driving times, what I've got left. I have them on thingy. You can do tripometer, blah, 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 blah. Driver activity, driving score. Oh, there you go. Driving score. 99% on the bottom and 27% on the top. I've been up and down and all round a bit on hills earlier on. There's various thingies there. You can, you know, do that till your heart's content. Driving assistance, blah, blah, blah. A lot of it's just blah, 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 really. MPH, vehicle information, all that tackle. You know, you can scroll up and down on all that until your heart's content. Anyway, that's that bit out of the way. Happy with the fact that there's still some buttons on here. I thought it was all going to be on the digital dashboard, but you've still got your lane departures and all that gubbins and carry on and hazard lights, and that's for bright. It used to be for brightening your lights and whatnot. Let's flip that up. They've still got some old features on, like your PTO's been moved now. It's been put on there. They used to have them on there on the 68 plates. You got a kill switch for the battery. There's your big light, blah blah blah, big lights and stuff, and lights on thingy column there. There is this steering column here, just the same, automatic, reverse, blah blah. Your retarder, which again is as much use as pops on a fish, to be honest, but they do have the exhaust brake on there. There is something else on there, but I don't press that on. I just press that one on only. You can still get it into automatic and manual, blah blah blah. I really do think that they should have a clutch pedal and a manual 12 or 13 speed gearbox. Speaking of which, this has a 12 speed gearbox, but you can flick it up one when you're cruising along up motorway, and there's another gear called overdrive or something daft like that. But yeah, there you go. Coming this side, I'm happy with the fact that your diffs locks there. You've got your tag axle button, lower and higher, your weight transfer button. I'd sooner have them there, but my only criticism is that weight transfer button should be out over here a little bit, because it's just a bit awkward to keep getting to when you need it for starting off, you know, when you've fully freighted and whatnot. Some gubbins on here for your night eater and whatnot and blah blah and this, that and t'other. Then you come on to all this tackle here. Now, to be honest, I've had a flick through this. It's only day 2 of having it. I've had a flick through it. You've got various things, driving assistance, the home screen and blah blah blah. There is a reversing camera on this, which is all right for when you're backing under pin, backing onto trailers and whatnot. But once you've got your trailer on, it's neither use nor ornament, to be honest. They could do with one up back at trailer, but there you go. You've got blah 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 blah. That's your home screen back again. You've got this for all your camera, climate, internal lighting, media, messages, phone, settings, blah, 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 till your heart's content. You've got quite a few radio channels on here. Yeah, there's quite a few. It's quite impressive, to be honest. It's yeah, it's all on DAB at the moment. I'm currently listening to Craig Charles on the BBC 6 Music. I don't mind Craig Charles, he's all right. Again, that's your camera. I'm not going to press that one because that's my phone and it'll show you all my phone contacts, and I don't want you having my wife's number and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, there's various bits and bats and blah blah, you know what I mean? It's I must admit, this dashboard does, when you're driving down the road, It sounds like a glockenspiel, to be honest. It just keeps going. All words to that effect. And I really do think, on the whole, it's a good truck. It pulls very well. It's very, very silent. It pulls well in every gear. It's a good wagon. But I really do find this particular dashboard a bit of a distraction, and a lot of the stuff what keeps piping up on here with the little sounds and stuff like that, I find it a distraction. So what I tend to do is just, well, I've only had it 2 days, what I've been tending to do is just plug me get my radio station on and leave that. I just ignore it, because there's that many gubbins to be scrolling through on that. You could forget for a moment, with the silence of the engine and the effortless power as it's ploughing on, you know, up a hill or down a hill, you could be forgetting for a moment that you're driving 42 ton of you know, a lethal machine if it goes tits up. Same with going downhill as well. You know about it when you're going downhill and you put the you click the retarder down, and it's as much use as paps on a fish. It won't haul you. This is just ideal for slowing down at roundabouts and stuff to save on your braking, hence why I've got such a decent driving score of 90 odd %. But there you go, I really touch the brakes only when I have to. And yeah, that's about it for that, really. It's a good truck. It pulls very well, and I'm getting used to it. I'm getting the hang of it. It's a nice, powerful truck, to be honest. Coming round, then you've got your leather seats and stuff, you know what I mean, same as hotels. I've still got some bits and bats of tackle I'm going to throw away in a bit. Got your leather seats. You've got your 3 cupboards, just the same as the last one. Your 3 cupboards. You've got your 3 cupboards up here. The centre one, I always keep the microwave in. Just what it says on the tin. I've got my CB in, rarely use it, but it's handy for coming for things. I've got my inverter set up in down there, if you can see it, and I've also got Teddy in the wind on the dashboard. Now Teddy, my little koala bear, and its little cub as well, I actually found one time when I was tipping wood chip out at biomass place. I just saw the arse end of this thing sticking out, and I thought, oh, what's that? So I rescued it. It was a juice set destined for the burner. I took it home, washed it, and then decided to mount it on the corner dashboard there. And that little mascot of mine has now travelled all over the United Kingdom with me, but there you go. And that's pretty much about it, really. Yeah. Oh, there's a picture of I always have it in every truck I have, really. It's I like to tell people that the wife did a selfie, and somehow managed to superimpose it onto a poster for me. Now, true tale this, I was at Clackett Lane once, and my big face, I was at Clackett Lane Services once, and this young lad I was parked in a bay. He nosed into me, and he parked up to the side, but because he'd seen me in the dark and he'd lit me up, he come over. What's that picture? Where have you got that from? That's great. That's fantastic. So me being me, I said, well, lad, I said, wife took a selfie, like, you know what I mean? I said, and she's put it on a thing. Thought, oh, your wife's got a great pair of boobies, like, I bet she's bonny. I said, she's all right. What app was it? I said, well, I think it was something called yourpapsareus.co.uk. I said, but you'd have to Google it, mate. You know, I'll get my girlfriend, get onto that after. I thought, bless you, I just shut curtains and locked door. I thought, I'd be seeing you. You know what I mean? But there you go. Anyway, then, that's that. This is a very quick, basic cab tour while I'm killing a bit of time. I'm just waiting to get called in here to this place to load. On the whole, it's a grand machine. It's a cracking truck. It pulls very well. It's decent. It's nippy. I was a bit concerned at first because I'm a bit of a dinosaur and a creature of habit. I'm not one for a lot of modern technology, me, because I don't understand it. I'd rather just do exactly what it says on tin. So I thought everything was going to be on that dashboard and it was going to be a nightmare. I'm very happy and relieved that a lot of the main controls that I need, tag axle, stuff like that, the raising and lowering of your suspension used to be on the buttons here. It's not anymore. It's all in this dashboard. But my big face. You used to have, when you're coming in back on a trailer, you could lower and raise the suspension on the unit, and there was buttons on there. That's not there now. It's gone. That is in that. It's either on your screen here or it's in there. But to be honest, it's much easier just to use that. You know what I mean? That does exactly what it says on tin, and it's much easier to do that. And in that sense, I would rather use that, to be honest. And call me old-fashioned, but I'm in the habit, me. I mean, when I worked at Miller's on the, when I worked at my big face, when I worked at Miller's on the flatbeds, you could be swapping trailers 2-3 times a day, and you get used to backing under. You know, you're doing that with buttons, and you get used to exactly where you need to be under the trailer. Then you can raise your suspension up, and boom, you bang up pin, jump, do your tug test, 2 tug tests, jump out and connect up. But because I'm now out the habit of doing that again, when I do have to drop this trailer, which is normally every 6 weeks, so I had to drop it on Saturday actually when I come back in, because I was picking this new unit up yesterday. So when I do go under a trailer now, I do it the proper way, really, how you're meant to do. I'll come back under it, I'll lower my suspension, I'll get under it enough, and instead of just raising it up and banging on it, because it's easy to miss pin if you, especially in dark, I'll get out with a torch and I'll have a look. I'll even have a look underneath the thing, and then I think, yep, that's right. Then I'll raise suspension up, bang on the pin, 2 tug test, and then I'll go through motions then. But what I always do, because I've heard of people before, I'm not trying to teach some of you people how to suck eggs, but what I've always done, even after I've done my tug tests, what I have always done from day one, especially in the dark, I've always gone underneath. Make sure your bloody handbrake's on, man, and your trailer brake, of course, or your potential get squished. I've always gone underneath at the back of the unit, and I've looked and I've shined the torch so I can see that metal bar's actually come across and he's holding that pin in place, you know what I mean? Because I've heard of people what's set off and it's come off. Because sometimes, and it has happened to me before, it's happened to me, where you've backed on and you've not, I don't like really slamming on it like you're trying to knock it into the middle of next week, but sometimes you can back on it and you can hear it click and you know it's gone in, but you'll not be able to get your dog clip in because that bar's not come across just enough, and you can't ding it. Like, even if you go back, sometimes you can try and go back on it a bit more and it'll click it, but sometimes it won't. So what you got to do then is get that pin pulled again, which can be hard work pulling that angle again. You've got to try and get it just right. Then you've got to come out of it and then bang back in it again. Do you know what I mean? So I always make sure that that bar has come across properly, and then the dog clips in. Do you know what I mean? And hunky dory. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Some people are in too much of a bloody hurry to get going, but you know, you find your own way, don't you? But that's just me. I'm not trying to teach anybody how to suck eggs. There's people what's no doubt watches this channel what's done more miles in reverse than I'll ever do going forwards, but we all have our own little ways, and as you know, when you're hooking up to a trailer, it's black in it, you know what I mean? Brakes, legs, airlines, clip, kingpin. Yeah, and then in reverse. Yeah, do it in reverse. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Right, I'm going to get some dinner now because I've half an hour to kill. Have you enjoyed this? I've no idea, but you asked for a little cab tour, so I've given you a little cab tour. On the whole, it's a bonny truck, it's a grand truck. I'm going to slot nicely in. Well, I have slotted nicely into it. Don't know what all the panic was about, really. I do find some of it a distraction, so I don't tend to bother with it. I just put my radio station on. My controls hot steering wheel here for volume up and down, and my phone's hooked up to it so I can answer the phone without having to touch anything. Do you know what I mean? And it's a grand truck. It is. It pulls well. It's not a bad effort at all. But yeah, I think I would like to have a clutch pedal on it and a manual gear stick, so you can run. You know what I mean? Forget all that heating twin splitters, jumpers for goalposts. Back in day, when we all had rickets, diphtheria and Hickler, you know what I mean? Forget all that crap, like. Oh, that'd be... I've never done back in day with eating splint twitters and all that. I have driven a manual truck. Granted, it was only a 7.5 ton truck, but it was a manual truck. I have also driven a C112 Scania, proper manual with split thingamajig on it. Didn't drive it so far. I've not tramped in it, but I have driven a manual truck. So I would have no problem with driving a manual truck. I think it would be a good little, you know, something nice get your teeth into. It's like I said, these things, people say we're steering wheel attendants now. They drive themselves, these trucks. Yeah, there's a lot of technology in them. They're a lot smoother. They're a lot more comfortable to live in than back in day. But at the end of the day, you know, some of the places you get to with these things, it's quite scary. You think, how the hell do I get in there? Never mind turn around, but you always find a way. And you can't take your eyes off the ball, because if you do, you've got to bear in mind that no matter how fancy the truck looks and what it does, and gadgets, jigglies and hula-has and flashing lights and all things this, there and t'other, you lose control of one of these things, it's 44 tonne of metal. You know what I mean? You're going to make yourself half a day out with Undertaker, or God forbid, take somebody else out and make them half a day out, give them half a day out with Undertaker. And personally, it wouldn't sit well on my conscience, but there you go. Anyway, I've been your old mate Borothea. Once again, you, my friend, have been beautiful. Maureen is at it again. Join me on the next one. Be seeing you. I'm out of here. Ta-ra.